Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush video. So we got some insane, incredible news regarding Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush from this month's V-Jump. This month's V-Jump has just been loaded, and that news pretty much confirms that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is going to be a sequel to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Now, this was something that I was about 95% confident on. It was something that as soon as we found out the last names of the main characters involved were Odo, the same last name as the main pro tag of 7s, which is Yugo Odo, I was very hopeful that it was going to be a sequel, and they weren't just using the same last names for any sort of cheapness to just do a loose tie-in or anything like that. I wanted this to be in the future of 7s. Now, whether it was going to be in the future of 7s, whether it was going to be 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 500 years, we really didn't know, but we kind of have a much better idea based on the information that we got in this month's V-Jump. So, without further ado, let's hop in. These are the three characters that have finally 100% definitively confirmed that there is continuity between Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. And of course, one of the characters is Nick Yagi. Are you kidding me? If you haven't watched 7s, Nick Yagi is a character that me and my friends have memed about quite often. We had a bet that Nick Yagi would not appear through like the next 20 episodes, and on the 20th episode he showed up in the background, so I lost that bet. I had to get a Nick Yagi emote custom made. I had to pay for that to be done. It is available to YouTube channel members for use and for Twitch subs, and it was just a disaster. So the fact that Nick Yagi is gonna be in this show, I still haven't been able to process it. I saw it hours ago. I still haven't been able to wrap my minds around it. Top secret, quirky characters. Haven't we seen them somewhere before? Ms. Maki, which is Sushiko, Mr. Yagi, which is Nick Yagi, and Mr. Tazaki, which is Galliant from the Machine Cavalry Club. So what's interesting about this is if you replaced Galliant with Menzaburo, you would have had the Ramen Club. Menzaburo, Sushiko, and Nick Yagi. Very interesting that Menzaburo gets replaced here by Galliant. And of course, the other thing we have to go on is how old these characters look. And this has been something I've already seen hotly debated on Twitter. I've had some friends texting me, and one friend texted me that they look like they're in their 30s. I've seen a couple of people say that they look like they're in their 30s. I'm sorry. I completely disagree with that. To me, these three characters look like they're in their late 50s, early 60s, if not 70s. I think we're getting about a 50-year time skip. I think we're getting a 2-generation time skip. I mean, Sushiko and Nick Yagi, first of all, they look older than Galliant to me, but they do not. Like, I'm going to be in my 30s in 2 years, and I hope I don't look anything like that. I mean, they look like they could potentially be in a nursing home. They look incredibly, incredibly old. And the fact that you look at characters that are in their 30s in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, Yuga's mom is probably in her 30s, maybe even early 40s. Mimi is 37. I know Mimi is a joke with her age, you know, looking so much younger than she actually is. Princess G could be in her 30s. I'm sorry, but these characters do not at all look like they are in their 30s. They look like elderly characters. So I know there's been a hot debate, and there will be a hot debate, probably even in the comment section, that people believe that Sushiko and Nick Yagi in this photo are in their mid-30s. I just completely disagree with that. To me, they look like they're in their late 50s, early 60s. They look like they're at retirement age. But I guess that'll be something that will be debated until we get confirmation. I think it's probably going to be a 50-year skip from 7s to Go Rush. I think it's going to be 2 generations. So I think the characters in 7s will mostly be grandparents, if they even have kids. Because the only kids that we know of are Yuga's and Gakuto's. You know, I don't even know if we're going to get any other kids or grandkids. And honestly, I don't know if I even want a lot of these characters to have kids or grandkids explored. I think it's super cool that now we live in a world where the very next Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, Go Rush, could have appearances and cameos and mentions of the characters that we've been with for the last 2 years. I think that's awesome, but you don't need to bloat the show by having every single character be a kid or a great-grandkid of someone that we had in Sevens. I wouldn't really like that. If we have a few, like we have Yuga, we have Gakuto, that's awesome, but we don't need to have every character have a grandkid. So the fact that we're getting characters without needing their kids showing up in the form of Tsuchiko, Galliant, and Nick Yagi, 3 background characters, 3 minor characters for the show, is super cool because the possibilities are now endless. So Galliant is a veteran employee who's been with UTS since the previous CEO. Wonder who that was. Nick Yagi treats the twins with delicious yakitori, and Tsuchiko gracefully handles watering the plants at the company. So these 3 characters work for Yuumu and Yuhi, the 2 Odo twins, which is amazing because all 3 of these characters have, I'm sure, a deep-rooted respect for Yuga, and so the fact that they are now spending their time in, I believe, their elderly years working for the twins, working for, I would assume, the grandchildren of Yuga is super cool. They might tell the grandkids stories about Yuga and how he saved the world and created rush jewels when they were younger. Like, just that immersion is something I've wanted from a Yu-Gi-Oh! For so long. I think it's so cool. I mean, I really, really wanted this. I think it's awesome. These 3 are the adult employees who work for UTS, firmly supporting the elementary school-age twins who run the company. Obviously, Yuga's kids, or most likely grandkids, and I'm just absolutely elated that we have confirmation it's a sequel, and that it's not a sequel 100 years after the events of Sevens, because now there's so many possibilities for these characters from Sevens to show up in Go Rush. Now, we did get another page, and this page is probably more relevant to the main plot. The aliens invading one after another. So we have a new alien that's standing above Zwijo. His name is Kawai Tell. He's connected to Yuhi somehow. So that's interesting. He is an alien connected to Yuhi. Remember, Yuhi is looking for something that he lost, something that was allegedly stolen from him. I wonder if Kawai Tell is the alien that stole from Yuhi, and how is Kawai Tell related to potentially Zwijo and Udius? Is he an alien that comes from Velgears, like Zwijo and Udius do? Is he an alien that potentially invaded Velgears or assisted in the invasion of Velgears? Or is he an alien that has absolutely zero association with what's going on in the war? So that'll be interesting to see how he fits into all of this. But a new alien character there, his name Kawai Tell. We have Zwijo, who's Udius's former commanding officer. And then we have Chupataro, obviously named after the Chupacabra, which is a legendary creature, a mythologic, a creature that doesn't exist, most likely, in like the Mexico, Texas, Arizona area, kind of like a Bigfoot, if you will. An alien obsessed with strength. I immediately thought Swirly on steroids. I don't know if anyone else got that Swirly vibe, but he just reminds me like of a jacked up evil Swirly. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any connection there between the two, but I thought that was interesting nonetheless. The mysterious Chupataro and Kawai Tell, who is typically wet and drenched, are among the aliens that appear in Mutsuba Town. So this is a full-on alien invasion of Mutsuba Town. Also among their number is Zwijo, a warrior from the Velgear star cluster who is apparently an extremely skilled duelist. So that is the first time we have ever gotten any sort of power scaling for Zwijo's character. I believe that is a new piece of information regarding him, that he is an incredibly skilled duelist. We know he's from Velgear. We know from a different piece of information, he kind of disappeared in the war, and I would not be surprised at all if when he disappeared in the war, that's when Velgear kind of lost the war, right? Maybe it was an even battle. They were fending off the invasion. He disappears, and then the war, Velgear just falls, and Udius has to flee, along with, whatever casualties are suffered there. I wonder if this implies that Zwijo is working with Chupataro and Kawai Tell. Also among their number is Zwijo. I don't know if that's referring to a general alien invasion, or if that's referring to a team-up here between Kawai, Chupataro, and Zwijo. So these 3 could be early adversaries for the UTS, which is, of course, the company that now we know Nick Yagi, Sushiko, and Galliant work for, the company run by Yuhi and Yuamu, the Odo twins, and for Manabu's group, which is also an anti-alien group, and Udius, because Udius is obviously not working with these characters. So, very interesting. Again, why are they invading Mutsuba Town? Why are they invading Earth? Why do they want to know about rush duels? And I don't know, man. I think this story, I'm very excited for this. I think this story, not only do you have the confirmed possibility now of seeing Seven's characters appear in their twilight years, in their elderly years, which I think is super cool, but the story is really intriguing to me. War-torn planet, you have a bunch of aliens now invading Mutsuba Town, and you have these kids that are going to have to fend off, probably along with Udius, who is an alien from Velgears. I'm very, very intrigued with this story. This story is kind of right up my alley, and I am very excited to see where Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush brings us. But guys, the major news, the major takeaway from this is we have a confirmed sequel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush will be taking place anywhere from 25 to 50 years after Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. I think it's going to be closer to 50 years, but I'm sure there will be a debate for a while as to, well, just for a couple weeks, as to how old Galliant, Sushiko, and Yagi are. To me, they're in their retirement age, 55, 60, 65. Some people think they're in their 30s. You know, let that debate. You know, we were debating for so long. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush a sequel? We have that answer. The next debate is how many years into the future. I think it's 2 generations. I think it's going to be about 50. Some people think it's going to be about 20, 25 years, but we'll have to wait and see. Guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this news. Let me know some other Sevens characters you think we will see in Go Rush, and let me know some predictions that you have for Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. We are 17 days away from this show airing, which is absolutely insane. I am hyped. I am excited. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, Jarrett Buller, Lee Saxophone Beast, and Frost Eagle, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Erick Avila, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. Thank you so much to everyone who supports me over on Patreon or who is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out and you help out the channel so much, and be sure to check out my Patreon for some channel exclusive perks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I stream on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Links for all those will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.